Everyone, in the meantime, if you want, please drop in the chat where you from, what's your business, what's your role, say hi.
Yeah, we'll be getting started in a minute. Understand everyone has a busy days, so I'm jumping from meeting to meeting.
Hey, MJ, nice to see you. Thank you for joining today. Hey, Scott from Austin, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. We have a lots of interesting stuff to show you today, so bear with us. We will start in a few minutes. Very exciting to see you all. Hey, Heather, thank you for joining today. And Tammy, thank you all. Please feel free to write where you're from, what's your role.
Yes. And we do have a Q&A functionality, so if you have specific questions you want us to get answered, feel free to put those in at any time, and we'll have a dedicated section at the end of this for answering questions. So,
Hey, Carlene, Montreal, nice to see you.
all right. We've reached the top of the hour. It seems like we have a decent amount of people who have filed in the last few seconds. I think we can probably go ahead and get started. So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Harry Radigan. I run customer solutions at SignNow. I'm joined by Asaf Shevash, our principal product marketing manager. And today we're going to show you something that's genuinely changing the way people handle document signing using AI tools like Claude and ChatGPT. Zero coding required. We'll keep it practical. We'll show you a live demo and we'll leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. So feel free to use the tool that Zoom has there or the chat because it looks like some people have already found the chat, which is great.
And if you want
All
to get
right.
practical, make sure to have your ChatGPT or Claude open. We will show you how to set it up. So feel
Yeah.
free to open it and follow our steps.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do today. First, we're going to talk about what is MCP. It's another acronym that we think people will be get more and more used to as AI becomes more and part of our lives. How MCP works, the value of using it, a little talk through example of before world and after introducing MCP, and then Asaf is going to walk us through a live demo. Like he said, be sure to open up your own platforms or clients so that you can get it set up and try it yourself. And then we'll have a Q&A. All right, some intros. So my name's Harry Radigan. I've been with Airsight Sign now for over 5 years now. I run our customer solutions team, so I'm oftentimes talking with our customers or people who are evaluating our solutions about how we can technically meet those needs. And I get to work with great people like Asaf. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Asaf. I joined almost a half a year ago to sign out as a principal product marketer, and I'm working currently on a lot of materials and like everything related to our AI. And we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. So stay tuned. This is only the beginning, and I would love to show you afterwards how what we have today, how it works.
Awesome. So we'll start with what is MCP, get everyone on the same page. What it stands for is Model Context Protocol. Sounds nice. It's really just a standard for connecting AI tools like Claude or GPT, we'll talk about specifically today, to external apps, in our case, SignNow. Uh, Anthropic came up with the MCP, but it's being widely adopted across different platforms like ChatGPT. Uh, nowadays with the explosion of AI, I think people often hear about how AI is taking over coding jobs. You do not need to know how to code. You can connect it like you'll see in a few clicks. If you can use email, you can use MCP. I think the analogy that we like is think of MCP as a universal remote. Your AI, Claude or GPT in this case, knows how to understand you. It's a natural language. You type it a question, it answers you as a human will try to. And MCP gives it the ability to actually do things with inside your apps. So you don't have to switch between apps. There's no clicking through menus. You describe what you need done, and the AI tool, along utilizing the MCP, can get it done. It's the bridge between you and your apps. It's a nice way to say it. So you start by typing off a prompt, send the NDA template to so-and-so and request their signature. You type that into your AI tool. As we'll see today, your AI is able to understand that. It's not, you're not writing a code direction to it. It's just natural language. The MCP is what translates that natural language to a specific action in the connected app, in our case, SignNow. And then the action is taken by SignNow in this case. So the MCP is able to work with that AI tool to complete specific actions related to the app. And this is, the example is send an NDA template to alex@company.com and request your signature. You type that into your tool, Claude or ChatGPT. It uses the MCP in order to execute that action. An NDA template will be sent to that person for signature. Let's talk a little bit about SignNow's MCP and the capabilities it brings to you. So three different categories: prepare, send, and track. I think just to call out some of the things you can do in the prepare. So before you get this document out for signature, you need to prepare it. For those of you that have used SignNow or really any of our competitors' apps, what that looks like is, getting the file, adding the fields where you need, saying who needs to sign where. So that's some of the capabilities of the MCP. Sending, we think this is where a lot of people get value as they're using these tools more and more in their day-to-day and getting comfortable in chatting with their AI. You can go ahead and, like the example we had in the previous slide, send documents or groups of documents, request signatures, say who needs to sign when. Asaf will sign first, and then I will sign second, things of those natures, but in a natural way, but have SignNow execute it for you. And then I think what's really interesting is you can also use the MCP to track. So you've sent it, but you want to check where it is, or has Asaf signed it yet? Is it waiting on me? Anything waiting my signature? Using the MCP, you can just ask some questions in plain language and get answers, or have actions taken automatically. Okay. And just to kind of hit home on why it matters, or why we think it matters is, your AI can handle the paperwork and you close the deal. I always like to talk about documents are often important. Getting that signature is usually the signifier of a deal closing or an agreement being reached. But we know there's a lot of legwork before and after that. And in the world of AI, the legwork and the relationships you build to get to that contract or get to that signing of a waiver, anything that's important, we want you to be able to focus on that and less on the paperwork. So saving time. I can type pretty fast. I probably could type faster back when I was practicing it in school, but it saves time. Everything takes seconds, not hours. I don't have to go to different apps, things of that nature. Streamlined, again, not jumping between email or a different application that you have the information about this person. You can type it all within your AI. AI can connect out to those tools like SignNow and get it done on your behalf. And simple. Again, you don't have to remember what specific code words you need to remember. It's natural language. It works with your AI your AI understands you, and your AI understands SignNow in this case, and it can execute those actions on your behalf. Cool. And then just to kind of explain what it would look like before versus after utilizing the MCP. before. And again, this is, a lot of people use SignNow day to day, and a lot of people are doing these things. But what it would look like to get this done is you'd log into your SignNow, you'd navigate to your templates, select and open the right document. Maybe you want to add information already, pre-fill some, today's date or things of those nature to the document. Type in the signer's email address, say who signing order in case there's multiple email addresses, send, and then wait. You might check your email to see if they've signed it, or you might log back into SignNow to see the status of all your documents, and manually follow up. Of course, we do have automatic reminders, so you can make use of those as well. After, and one simple prompt, send our NDA agreement to alex@company.com, set signing order to the client first, then me. It knows who you are because you've been talking to it, and done, and SignNow will handle the rest. And that's the power of the MCP. So moving from the 8 manual steps, as you see above, to one natural language prompt, and hopefully we can give you back hours, especially if you're doing this many, many times, the more time you'll save. So from there, we're going to pivot to a soft, and we're going to look at what this looks like. And again, if you want to take the few seconds as we figure out how to switch screen sharing to get your either Claude or ChatGPT open, feel free to do so.
Yeah. So this is the time, you guys. Feel free to open your GPT or Claude. Let me just clean my screen a little bit so we can focus on what matters. All right. So let's start off by how you can easily set it up with ChatGPT. So if you're in the ChatGPT, what you should do, you should go to your settings on the left, clicking on your profile, click on the settings, and then here you will see apps. And within all apps, click on the browse apps. And then it will open you kind of the marketplace. And all you have to do is search for SignNow, click on it. You can learn more about it from here if you want, but then you can click on connect. It will ask you to continue to sign out. And if you want to utilize your memories of different chats that you have, you can easily mark this option. I prefer to do so to have more context. And then I continue to sign out, and it will ask me to open a new window, and it will ask me to grant access, right? So we want to connect them both, and in order to get access to the sign now, it will ask me to grant the access, so I can click on it. And now that it's approved, I can start actually testing it. But let me show you a little bit more. Let's continue to the next one. So this is how you do it in ChatGPT. But if I want to do it with Claude, there are two ways. I can either go to customize, and from here, I can click on connect your apps. And here again, I can look for sign out. Mine is connected, but once you will click on it, you will have again the connect screen, the connect button. And once you click on it, it will be the same. You will need to authorize the permission to connect to your sign out. And by the way, if you see the login page, it means that you're not signed in. So just sign in, and then it will allow you to easily to connect it. Great. Everybody done it? I hope so. And if not, don't worry. We have a guide, we have videos, and you will also get this recording. It's very simple, nothing special, right? Very easy. You don't need to be a coder for this or a developer. So let's do the bottom line. Let's do a quick demo. So I just want to show you just a few of the features that we have, the capabilities. And I just want to make sure that you understand that when Harry explained about MCP, it's just more kind of a technical way of saying what's the underlying kind of infrastructure. for connecting your LLM, your AI tool to SignNow. But essentially, it sums up with connecting an app or the connector within Claude. So let's play a little bit. So if I want to start, I can ask Claude to list all my SignNow templates. And don't worry if you have any spelling mistakes, Claude and ChatGPT will understand it. And now it will ask you for permissions. This is a safe way to make sure that things are not running automatically without your permission, right? But it's your decision. You can give it always allow it or to do it once. For this sake, let's tell him to do it allow once. So now it will go to my SignNow account and it will fetch all my templates. So as you can see, it shows me now all the templates that I have in my account. And now let's say that I want to edit one of my templates. So I will ask him to fetch me editing link for the webinar proposal template. Let's say I want to check it before I'm sending it to someone. So now it will go to SignNow, and it will fetch the fetch the editing link, so I can click on it very easy and go to SignNow. Again, I don't have to do it, and in the future, you will not even need to go to SignNow. It will be inside the editor. So now it fetched the link. I can quickly open it. And by opening it, again, it's just for if you want to review it, and I can see the different signing that I have. And if I want, I can add any field I want. Let's say I want to have the date. Let's give it a name, date, and save and close. And that's it. And now I can come back to Claude. And if I want, I can ask it to add today's date to the webinar proposal and send it to my email, for instance, just for the matter of this demo. So now what it will do, it will take this template and it will add today's date automatically. It will check the template I have, and if it will see some misalignments between, it will ask you what to do. So for instance, I haven't added the right one to the right template. If I want, I can choose to use a different template, but it will ask me what to do. So if I want to open the editor, okay, let's do it. But if so, I can skip the date and I can send it as is to my email. So for this sake, let's just open the editor. And which role should I assign it to? Let's say the recipient number 1. And let's do it number 1. And it's very, very talkative, right? Like it's very easy to use. And if you have any errors or something is missing, it will automatically ask you before it will do something. So now it will create the link so I can open. So it opened it. So it tells me what to do. Here's the editor link, open it and add today's date. So I guess I haven't saved properly the previous one, so that's why it was like this. So I will add it again. I will call it today's date. And let me save and close. and now it's saved, and I can come back to here. So because we already done this one with the 2 recipients, so let me do a different thing. Let's say I want to send this to 2 recipients. So I will do, I want you to add today's date to the today's date field and send it first to, let's send it to Harry for signing. And then send it to Asaf. So what it will do now, it will send it first to Harry, and then it will send it to me. So
I think it's
let's.
expecting you to add a date field, so that's what's tripping you up here.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
that might probably could be the. So, but let's continue. Let's send it to a. Let's send it. So now it will go to SignNow, and it will start by sending. I will allow it to do it once.
And
Yeah,
on
I
that,
just
where it prompts you to either allow once or allow always, my rule of thumb is if it's taking action on my behalf, I like to be involved there. But if it's just fetching some information, oftentimes I'll allow every time. Your mileage may differ, but that's usually my approach to those things.
definitely. So Harry, can you check if you got the?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and open up my email. Just popped in. I'll open it up. Looks good to me.
So what now will happen? Harry is supposed to get the email to sign it as the first signer. And then we want to see what's going on, right? Like we want to see where it's standing. Sometimes we have multiple recipients. We want to make sure what's going on, where it's stuck, what's the status. So once Harry will sign.
Signed on my end. If only they
Awesome.
all got signed
So
that fast.
let's check the status of the agreement. So now I can ask it to check the status. And now it will, again, call SignNow through the MCP, through the connector, and it will fetch the right status. So as you can see, awesome. Harry has signed it, but Asaf haven't done it yet. So awesome, that's great. So if I want, I can also see now that I will get the email. As you can see, now I got the email and I can view the document. Let me sign it. I hope I'm not selling anything to Harry. I'll just sign it, finish. The agreement is done, signed and delivered. So now I can come back to, and again, this is me as an admin, but I'm also a recipient in this case. In most cases, maybe you will not be the admin, so you don't need to sign it yourself, but you can. So now let's check again the status, and I just want to make sure that you guys understand. I can check the status of this particular document, or I can check the status of all of my documents. It's not only about this one. The MCP is about it's connected to your entire account. So I can ask him, like, tell me which pending documents do I have, or how many signed ones I have in the last week. You can really try to play with this. And the amazing thing that now that, as you can see, it's fulfilled both by Harry and myself, everything is fulfilled. So now I can, and he asked me, do you want to grab a download link? So yeah, why not? So now what it will do, it will generate the download link. Again, it will go to SignNow. And if you feel trusted, you can allow it. If you want to be in control, you can allow it once. If you want to keep it moving, you can always do this, allow always. And as you can see now, I have the link. I can open it and I can watch, and it's already, as you can see here, it's already been downloaded very successfully. And I can also ask for the audit trail history. So that's amazing. So what we've seen here is how we list the template, how you can choose the right one, how you can pre-fill data, even if I got excited and I haven't done it properly because I misused the right template, but sorry for this. But again, you can utilize the pre-fill of data for any type of fields that you want. It could be price, it could be starting date, ending date, or services. Anything that comes to your mind, you can just do it by doing a text, and you can do it step by step, or you can do a longer prompts. Add today's date to the NDA agreement, make the starting date to be 1st of May and ending by December, etc., and send it to Harry. So instead of just going to the UI to do everything manually, which is okay, you can just do it from your tools. And the most amazing thing is that once it's connected, you can do it from any device. So you can do it on the go, you can do it when you're walking the dog, when you're going for shopping, but just make sure that you're in control. So thank you for bearing with me. And this is only the beginning because we have more surprises, right? Or good things coming up ahead. So Harry, if you want to share your screen again.
Oh, great.
And soon we will have more time for questions, you guys. So we would love to answer them.
Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Our beautiful faces. So upcoming, what you could do what Asaf did today in chat. And I think one other thing I just want to call out is it doesn't always have to be in chat. There's a lot of tool sets, skills, artifacts that you can utilize to kind of incorporate and make use of this MCP in even more complicated or streamlined processes. So it doesn't always have to just be with a simple chat. It can kind of be utilizing
So Claude Cowork.
yeah, Claude Cowork. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff you could do there in the introduction of like longer living artifacts within these platforms. But some updates that are coming to the SignNow MCP are bringing any document to the chat. So one of the things that these tools are really great for is actually creating the document. So I think one thing I'd call out, we had a question that's related to this. I've struggled with templates in the past because each of our contacts are very specific to the custom job we're doing, and I have to fill out 20 to 30 bits of info before I can upload and send. Any tips on efficiency or tools that I might not be aware of would be awesome. Talking about setting up a client database and kind of creating that document. So that's definitely a possibility. And with this upcoming release, you can take the document directly from your Claude or your ChatGPT, move it into SignNow in one seamless process. So you don't have to rely upon templates. It can be a brand new document that you've created with the tool itself. Sending reminders. So we have default reminders in the UI. You can send some pokes. So you could go in. I could see that Asaf hadn't signed that document I sent him last week, and it's going to expire at the end of the week. I could send him a manual reminder. You'll now be able to do that with the upcoming upgrade to the MCP directly from your client or chat client. Set more complicated things like setting invite expiration. So again, it's a deal that's going to expire at the end of the week. You want to include that in your instruction set to Claude or ChatGPT. It can update that for you. Adding verification. So for those more sensitive documents, where you want to verify, have another layer of authentication on top of it, other than it going to the email you specify, SMS or kind of two-factor authentication, maybe a phone call, that'll be available. And I think we have bring document in the chat twice here because it's so important. So that I think that's what's really going to set the MCP apart is you truly will be able to draft one of those very complicated templates like we had mentioned in the Q&A, utilize the different sources, right? We know that you're not only going to connect these tools to SignNow, but it can kind of work in between different tool sets. So take data from maybe a spreadsheet that you have connected to your Claude or some other system like a Salesforce or CRM of that way. Um, Generate proposal based upon some template that you worked out with Cowork in to make it nice and shiny and pretty and include your branding, and then get that directly into SignNow and out for signature. So a lot can be done, and I think as you can see, the team is hard at work at bringing more and more features so that whatever you can imagine you'd want to do with SignNow, you'll be able to do with a simple prompt and using your own language. So with that, I think we'll move into Q&A. I just kind of answered, hopefully, that question we got from Scott around it a complicated process and with sign out templates, the actual data that's going to the document changes quite a bit each time. So hopefully that answers that question. Feel free to let me know if that did not, Scott. Make sure, let me just get some. Currently using SignNow or Builder trying to get DocSign, but starting to automate my back office with Claude toolsets. Curious how to make the process more seamless with our process. Yeah, I think that's what we were talking about. It's these simple chats that we went through today is just scratching the surface as you build out projects and skills. And I'm sure I'm not as familiar with all of ChatGPT's nomenclature. There's lots and lots you can do to fully automate processes or kind of say, hey, I want to come up with a contract for I'm not sure, my kids, so that they actually and will get their allowance and they have to do these chores and those things. Um, that's you might not need eSignature in that case, but it could be funny to have send it to your kid to have them sign it. So that's a funny one, but I think as people explore these tools more and more, things like the Sign Out MCP is going to allow them to kind of feel like that they have magic powers because they'll just be able to say a few things or set up a project or a scheduled task and be able to automate away a lot of the maybe more manual or busy work and focus on things like building relationships, strategizing with your team, those things that I still think humans are important for. So, yeah.
Definitely. And also you can utilize it like very well for building for if you're building your own applications and you want to integrate MCP like more like kind of a seamless experience of signing. And we have a question from Carl. Do you know if of any current rate limits total queries per day with the MCP?
The rate limits would most likely, because what's happening under the hood is the MCP is translating to our API. So we do have API rate limits that are published on our documentation portal. So it would fall in line with that. I don't know if there's specific MCP implemented rate limits that we do have, but I believe it would fall in line with what we do already with our API. And we have those for a couple of reasons. We want to make sure that we're not under attack, and we don't want people to spam and degrade, the platform. So pretty standard to have API rate limits, and I think those would apply. We can double check and make sure it's published on our documentation if there's anything specific to the MCP with regards to rate limits. But we're talking.
Yeah. And just one thing important to mention for you guys, it's available for all of you, not only API users. So you can try it as long as you have a sign now account. You can very easily connected. It doesn't cost extra. It's only relying on your plan, and you can feel free to utilize it. Any more questions before we wrap it up? All right, I guess we've
Yeah.
explained it very
That or
clearly.
people are trying it out for themselves, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
So just to wrap up, want to say thank you. This is new for our company. It's new in general. MCP, I don't know when they were uh, released by Anthropic or first conceived by Anthropic, but they're pretty new. So we are very excited about this. I was actually working with one of our new customers who's excited to be using this um, eh, in their organization and wanted to learn more. So hopefully one of those people is actually on the call today. Um, and a thank you, Asaf, for walking us through that demo. Should you have
Thank you,
any
guys.
questions, feel free to reach out on to myself or Asaf. We'd be more than happy to get you in touch with the right people if it's not ourselves. And feel free to check out everything regarding our MCP is documented on our website. So, and it talks through in a more extensive way all the different things you'd accomplished with our MCP today. And like we mentioned, there's more to come, and all those will be published on our website as well as we release more and more things that you can do with our MCP.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great rest of your day and have a good weekend ahead, hopefully.